23, verse 15, it says, "Usfartem lachem," you should count for yourself, Macharas HaShabbos, on the day after the Shabbos. But we already learned that the day after Shabbos is not Sunday, but the day after the first day of Pesach. So we have to count from the day after the first day of Pesach, Miyom Aviachem es Omer Atinufa, from the day that you bring the Omer. The Omer is a measurement of barley, of waving. You have to count Sheva Shabbasos Tmimos Diena. You have to count 7 complete weeks. Rashi tells us Mimocharas HaShabbos really means Mimocharas Yom Tov, the day after the Yom Tov. Tmimos Diena, complete weeks. This teaches us you start to count the night before in the evening, otherwise it's not complete. Until the day after the 7th week, you shall count 50 days. And you bring a new offering. Doesn't mean you count 50 days. Rashi explains, until this Shabbos here means the 7th week. It means lo ad b'chal. Doesn't include, and it's not including the 50th day, but up until the 15th day. These are 49 days. And on the 50th day, you shall bring a mincha chadash al Hashem, a new offering. Rashi tells us, B'yom ha'chamishim takrivu. On the 50th day, you shall offer it. And I say that this is the midrash of a pshuto, but its simple meaning is, Ami macharas ha'shabbos ha'shviyas shu yom chamishim tisperu. I say it means you shall count until the day of the 50th day. Umikra mesurasu. And it's Rashi says it's the verse that's inverted. Mincha chadasha. What does this mean? A new grain offering? Rashi tells us, Hi hamincha rishona. This is the first meal offering, shehuva min hachadash, which is brought from the new crop, from the new wheat. V'im tomar harei karva minchas omer. But didn't we already bring the omer offering? Eina keshar kol minachos. This is not like the other. This is not like all the other offerings, because this one, Sheba min ha'saorim, because the minchas omer comes from the barley, and this one comes from the wheat. Mimoshvo sechem taviu lechem tnufa shtayim shnei esronim soas diena chametz tafena bikurim Hashem. From your dwelling places you shall bring lechem tnufa. You shall bring a wave offering, two breads that are waved. Or really, tenufa here doesn't mean waved, but it means elevated. Shnei esronim soas diena. That it shall be 2 esronim of flour, chametz te'afena. It shall be chametz. It's unusual that this is the chametz, that the wheat is made into chametz. Bikurim Hashem. So this is the offering on Shavuot of the 2 wheat loaves. Rashi tells us, Mimoshvo techem, that has to come from your land, v'lo michutz la'aretz, but not from outside of Israel. Meaning to say that it has to be flour that's made from the land of Israel. Lechem tenufa, lechem teruma, bread of raising. Amuram l'shem gavoa, a bread that is raised for the one on high, i.e. God. V'zui mincha chadasha. This is the new grain offering. Amura l'mawa, which is sent above. Bikurim. What is the first of the fruits? Rishon l'kol minachos. It's the first of all the grain offerings. Afa minchas kinos. Even prior to the minchas kinos. That's the one that a sota woman brings. It's called the mincha of jealousy. Bikurim, so it's the first of the offerings.
Rabbi,
Haba minasa, yes.
Shnei Esronim is each, or Shnei Esronim is the calculation of two breads? Rashi doesn't say anything about that. That's why
I don't know. I don't know the answer. I don't know. Maybe in one of the commentaries there they say it. Bikurim, it's the first of all the menachos. It even comes before the minchas kenos of the sota woman. Haba minasorim, which comes from the barley. Wotikar michadash. But that cannot be brought from the new crops, kodem ashtei lechem. So even the offering which comes from the barley, which is the sota offering, you can't bring that until you bring the shtei lechem. So you can eat from the new grain, but you can't bring an offering from it until the two wheat loaves are brought on Shavuot. And even the barley offerings can't be brought from it. They have to use the old bread. And with these 2 loaves of bread, you have to offer. I assume, Rabbi Yosef, that the answer is that it's 2 esronim, a total of the 2 loaves. Shnei esronim, 2 10 ephahs.
it's been a while since I learned menachos. Sorry, thank you.
Yeah, it's been around 6 years. So, you should bring on the bread 7 sheep that are pure, that are under a year, and 1 bull, and 2 rams, Hashem. This will be an elevation offering, with their minchos and their nesachim, Hashem. So what does it mean, on account of the bread? Rashi says it means begal lechem. Because of the bread. Choval lechem, it's an obligation for the bread. In accordance with the standard laws of the libations and the meal offerings, which are by every animal. The parashas nesachim, in the parasha dealing with the libation offerings. 3 esronim for a bull, 2 esronim la'ayil, 2 for ram, sarim lakeves, zui mincha. That's the grain, vanesachim, and the libations are chatzia and lapar, half a hin of wine for a bar, shlishas hin la'ayil, a third of a hin for a ram, or vias a hin lakeves. Okay, so in addition to that, you bring a sin offering. We're learning about this sin offering in the Daf Yomi. That's to be metam, that's to be a kapara for those who don't even know that they were in the temple at all while they were tamei. And 2 sheep for a shlamim offering. Rashi says, Yachol shivata kvasim asir amurim kan. I might think that these 7 sheep that are listed here and the goat are the same that are listed in Parashas Pinchas, that are the Musaf offering of the shavuos. But they're not. They're not the same. So Amor Ma'ata. So these animals that are mentioned here are not The part of the typical Musaf offering. These are a separate offering that are brought with the grain offerings, with the Shtei Alechem, with this unique offering, excuse me, for Shavuot. It's different from the Musaf. Ukaratem ve'inifu hakohen otam alechem habikurim tenufal fnei Hashem al shnei kvasim kodesh yiyu Hashem lakohen. And the Kohen shall wave them on the bread of the Bikurim and an offering before Hashem. For the 2 sheep, Kodesh Yiyu Hashem, they shall be holy for God, for the Kohen. Rashi says this teaches us that they require waving while they're still alive. Normally we wave the animals after they're dead, we wave the parts of the animals. But in this case, we wave the sheep while it's still alive.
How big are these sheep?
They're little babies. They're under a year.
Kids?
I might think you have to apply all the 7 sheep. So it says the verse, Al Shnei Kvasim, the 2 sheep. So you have to wave the 2 sheep. Bring them up. They're not heavy. They're under a year. Little baby sheeps.
Never seen one.
Never seen a baby sheep?
No, no, I don't think maybe I did. Assume something.
Okay.
The majority of baby sheep are actually female. And it's one of those amazing ideas that Hashem wanted to have, like, I think it's a ratio of 1:8 or 1:9, where female sheep are a lot more productive or expensive for the use of humans as opposed to the male. So
therefore,
when it says that there's 7 of these lambs and they're all male, it's like you have to search harder to find them.
okay, I got you. Nice points. And then it says, we're chapter 23, pasuk Chaf Aleph, Chaf Gimel pasuk Chaf Aleph 21. It says, this day you shall call for you a holy day. You know how to do any work. It'll be eternal law. Hey, how you doing, Itai?
Great.
You see, volleyball doesn't have any more practice because baseball, they lost, but they're still going.
Yeah.
They're still going?
They have a tournament in a Jewish school tournament.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice. Gishmak.
They're gonna get cooked.
No, wait, what's with the school spirit? Oh, because their best player is in,
Yeah, they play the worst team first.
but their best player is injured.
Oh.
Wait, how many teams?
Yeah.
How many teams? There are 20 and we're the 13.
Where do they all sleep? Hotel, I guess.
Yeah.
But who caters it there? It's 20. It's a lot of schools.
20 teams
Yeah,
is
but each school has like raise a lot of money.
And each school's that it's not like a basketball team. They have more people on a baseball team.
Yeah.
Wow. So we should all go to support them.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff to do in Ohio.
I've been to Columbus. Have you ever been to Columbus?
Probably.
I've been to Columbus a few times.
Michigan.
One time I went to protest. There was this was years ago. This goes back like over 20 years ago. It was Ohio State was playing Michigan, and the Palestinians organized, Palestinian students back then organized Boycott, Divest conference for the exact day, and it was freezing. And I stood outside the entire day and protested against them. But nobody cared about their thing because they made
Football game.
it was Ohio State against Michigan. That's all anybody cared about. Then I went there for a wedding. Now Columbus is probably the least accessible place of a major big city. It's very hard to get to. There's no direct flights from DC. But I had a friend who had a 2-seater airplane. And he said, I'll pick you up. And he flew me. He was the pilot.
Great.
Yeah, it was great until we broke down. And then he fixed the plane. He fixed it. What? Not in the air, no, on the ground, like one of the engines was messed up. But by the time the wedding was over, it was all done. It's Columbus. It's beautiful. Okay, and then, okay, so then the verse says, verse 22, Chafez, Uvekutrachem. So, Uvekutrachem is Katirat Tachem, when you harvest the harvest of your land, most of Kaleh Pasad Chabekutrachav, Lecha Katirchalo Salkate, on the evil Ager Tazovatam Ani Hashem Lechem. We already had these laws in last week's parasha. So it says, when you harvest the corner of your fields, do not cut off the corner, don't gather up the gleanings, leave them for the poor and the stranger. So why is this repeated? Let's see what Rashi says. The Torah returns and repeats this commandment. Why does it tell us? We already said you're not allowed to cut off the corner of your field, you have to leave it. And to tell us first that if you violate, hello, Aryeh, how are you? So to tell us if you violate it, you're in violation of two prohibitions. Now we say, okay, says Rashi, Amar Avardimas bar Rabbi Yossi. Who is Avardimas? So most editions read Avdimi. There's nobody named Avdimi bar Rabbi Yossi, but Avardimas does appear in Torah's Kalanim. Anyway, it's a strange name, appears very rarely. And that's why some say his real name, that this was just a nickname, meaning rose-like, like a vered is a rose or a lily. Wow. No, come on here right next to me. I got a chair right here. Yeah, we got a chumash. So he says, Mara kosav with name be'emtza regolim Pesach ve'atzeres mikan Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur mikan. So okay, this is the basic question, Aryeh. That the Torah is in the middle of giving us all the festivals. It's giving us the Yom Tovim. It said, we talked about Pesach and Shavuos, and right after this, we're going to talk about Rosh Hashanah and Sukkot. And right in the middle, it gives us these laws of Peah, Leket, and Peah and Leket. So why does it put the laws of Peah and Leket in between all the other laws? You follow that? Shichacha is not here, though. What?
You say that we use Peah to teach about Hanukkah. Not about Hanukkah. Like more holidays.
No.
What does Peah have to do with Hanukkah?
You can't put, like you're supposed to put if you have more than one window, they have to put on both sides. Because you don't want people to think if they walk by then that you don't.
Is this something you heard or you're making this up?
No, this is what
Rabbi Vido told you that Peah has to do with Hanukkah?
No, like we use like that same reasoning of like how you have to do the corner because it shows off that you're giving.
Oh, so very nice. So I never heard this before. So he's saying that there's two halachos. There's a halacha by Peah and there's a halacha by Hanukkah that's the same. And so this is really hinting to Hanukkah. That Peah, that if you have to leave two corners over if you're worried that people won't see you and they'll think then they won't realize that you left out a corner. And so too by Hanukkah, you have to light the candle on both sides of the house if you're worried people aren't going to see. So that's why it says it. Very nice. I never heard that, but thank Rabbi Judo for that. But Rashi gives a different answer. Rashi says, why does the Torah put it here? So Lametcha to teach you Shekoah nosing laket shecho pe'o ani, whoever gives the gleanings or the forgotten food or the corner food to the poor, so Rashi says it's to tell you that if you give the gifts to the poor properly, we view you as though you built the temple and brought all these offerings. So we list all these offerings, but really, what do you have to do? You have to give to the poor. And so I want to encourage everybody here, no matter your age, no matter how much money you have, before every holiday, you should make a donation to the poor people, like Yad Yehuda. Even if you can only afford $1, you give something to poor people before the holiday. Yad Yehuda is an excellent gemach here in town to give to poor people, and that's what Rashi says. That this is quoting the Torah's Kohanim. It's such a beautiful Rashi. Let me see if the Rebbe's comment on it. Let's see. No, they don't comment on it. Okay. Just Rav Budo. Thank Rav Budo for me for that beautiful insight. Okay, now the next psukim that I want to go to is after the after the holidays. I want to go to the laws of the menorah. So we go here, chapter 24, verse 1. And this is another one that's being repeated. Why is it being repeated? Did Rabbi Udo give you anything on this, Itai? Vayidaber Hashem Amor Shleimor. So chapter 24, verse 1. God spoke to Moshe saying, Tzaves b'nei Yisrael v'yichu elecha shemen zayit zach kasis lamor. Says, tell the children of Israel to take an olive oil. What are you trying? What do you need to do? What are you trying to do? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go. Shemen zayit zach kasis lamor. You have to use pure olive oil crushed for illumination. Anybody here? Well, I was near to me to set up an internal light. Did anybody here ever make olive oil? I once tried to do it. It was a disaster. I told you about this. One time I thought the idea, you just crush the oil. So I put it in and I was a rabbi at OF, and I put all the olives into the garbage disposal, and I thought it would crush it out and get out the juice. But it didn't work. All it did was break the garbage disposal. Don't do that. Anyway, why? So then I brought in a guy who had a whole contraption. His name was, maybe you know him, David Katz from Israel. So he has Siach Basadeh, and he brought in a whole contraption like they used to do with a donkey, and that's how you're supposed to press it. So anyway, we go to the Rashi here. Tzaves b'nei Yisrael. Zu parashas mitzvahs haneros. This is the parasha of lighting the candles. Now, the menorah, we already had this in Parshas Tetzaveh and Kisisa. Wait, where do we have? We had in Tetzaveh. We already had it. In Parshas Tetzaveh, that's how it begins. So why is it repeated? Excuse me, we're also going to have it in Parshas Baroscha. So there, Lo nemra el seder melechas hamishkan v'farish sorach menorah. Masra atal tzavos es b'nei Yisrael al kach. So Rashi is saying, there, it was just, I'm sorry, Itai? No, so Rashi is saying that by Tetzaveh is not saying that you should command, but in the future you're going to command. And this is where he's actually commanding it. But this is a big problem because it's like repetitive. So why is it being repeated? So it's a big question. The commentaries all discussed, and now a lot of people are not happy with what Rashi says. So
This is for Hanukkah, we're doing this?
no,
This is the menorah ancient.
that in the temple every day there was an eternal light. The Torah, Itai mentioned Hanukkah, but the Torah never really mentions Hanukkah. Hanukkah takes place during the Second Temple period.
Yeah, it's out the day.
Right, so I'm saying, so that's it.
Fine.
But what Itai was saying, that through divine prophecy, the Torah hints to Hanukkah. Some people find hints to it, but it's really more, not that it was really there, but it's to highlight a hidden aspect of it. Shemen zayizach, the pure, clear olive oil. You ever see extra virgin olive oil? That's what this is. Clear olive oil, shlosha shemanim. There are three oils that come out of the olives. There's a rishon karoi zach, that's called the clear. And the next is less clear, and then there's the dregs. What I got out of the garbage disposal was not even oil. It was just. Then we tried a different attempt. We bought a hydraulic press.
I think it might work now. Did you ask anybody? I mean, that's not intuitive to me. Instead of olives and seeds and garbage and stuff, so you get anything out of it.
I mean, why not? It's just like a big like food processor.
Yeah, but there's these little seeds in them.
You mean the pits?
The pits, yeah.
You know what? There's all these ways. It's a machine. I thought it would work. It did crush up the pits. I tried all different ways to use these appliances. You know, you could cook on your car engine.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you could cook on your car engine. Totally legitimate. Very good way of cooking. Just wrap up the, like, let's say you're going on a long drive. You take a nice piece of steak. You wrap it up in tin foil. You stick it in your car and in the engine. And by the time you get to where you're going, it'll be nice. It'll be ready. You don't even have to go into like,
It sounds like a Seinfeld.
no, look it up, Gabi, look up Rhodes, cooking on your car recipes. It's delicious. Yeah, recipes for cooking on your car. Also, you could also cook in your dishwasher. Wrap something in tinfoil and put it in your dishwasher. Steaming it. Yeah, no, what? Totally. You just wrap it up. It gets to very hot. It's called efficiency.
Cook on your plane?
On a plane?
Yeah, on a plane engine.
Any
Done that.
engine.
Should have done that on the way to Columbus.
Yeah, any engine. It's hot. You can just cook. It's just heat. Did you find it, Itay?
It says you can't.
Rabbi, they're choosing you.
No. It doesn't say you can't. What are you talking about? What? I mean, that's the internet.
No, it says it can.
Oh, it says it can.
Oh, okay.
Of course. But it gives you a recipe, right?
I haven't asked for recipes.
No, go ask
It says sausage, crab, shrimp, and vegetable.
Yeah, well, that's not kosher, obviously, but like you could basically just wrap the nice piece of steak in a geschmack piece of tin foil, put some like spices on it, nice piece of kishka, you wrap it in, and you drive from DC to New York. You get to New York, everybody else is going into Sammy's to try and get a burger, but you just not a burger, whatever, they're going into whatever that store is, but you just pull up to the side of the road and take out your plate and cut up your steak and your little geschmack. All right, let us stop. And on that note, I'm just teaching you guys life lessons here.
I don't know, it's not an electric vehicle.